Welcome, everyone. Hello, and thank you so much for being with us again in our today's sessions, Zipinar, the Let Us Talk It Zipinar. We call it Zipinar, not webinar, as we try to zip in two different informations from two different wonderful speakers. We zip in just one session within 1 hour to minimize the time consumed from your most precious corporate time. But we maximize it, the information that you get from that short period of time. This initiative is made possible by Cogent Integrated Business Solutions, an IT company based in Detroit, Michigan, United States, and is visible also in Mexico, Spain, and India. And they wanted to give back to the community. So they have created this free knowledge sharing platform, Let Us Talk It Zipinar, in order to give back to the community through free knowledge sharing and create an informed and empowered community. So we are inviting guest speakers who are willing to share a spare of their time with most of their knowledge and experience to the community. We believe that knowledge is everywhere through your keyboard. You can search it over internet, but knowledge or information along with experience of such great personalities definitely hits different. So that's what we are providing here in Let Us Talk It Zipinar. So the first topic that we have today is speak for success. So build a communication toolkit to advance your career. So we have here like an interactive session with our executive communication coach, Laurie Schloff. We will discuss practical ideas and tips to help your communication skills also improve your confidence in doing so. So Laurie is a specialist in financial, healthcare, and biotech sectors, and also an internationally recognized speech and communication expert working with professionals who need outstanding speaking skills to succeed. And her very passion is to see her clients become confident, comfortable, and influential presenters. And more of that will be demonstrated by her. So we can give her a chance to introduce herself a little better. And without further ado, we have here Coach Laurie to deliver the first topic.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. It's great to meet all of you. And thank you so much, Phil. I know you have some questions for me, and I look forward to like an interactive format. So did you want to get started with the interview?
Yes, definitely. And also, we are encouraging our attendees to be able to unmute or just put it on chat. I can acknowledge and give it to Coach Laurie if you have any questions. So feel free to cut us off. You can raise your hand so we can acknowledge. And to start off, like Coach, what does a communication coach do?
Yeah, that's a great first question because it's an unusual profession. So what I do is I help people to use their speech and communication for success in their careers, in their business to get results. So for example, this week I worked with a doctor who went from practicing with patients to being in business, and it was a whole different world. So he had to learn how to speak to leaders and business people. Yesterday, I worked with a woman who was very nervous because she had to speak to a whole bunch of executives who were very critical. And we worked on the message itself, making it structured well, making it clear, making it concise, and importantly, making it very high impact, as well as delivery. And delivery consists of how you look, and how you sound. So those are the three components: the message, the oral image, how you sound, and your nonverbal behavior are three important things I work on all the time to help people to achieve success.
Wonderful. And well, I pretty much already has information about this, but why is communication so important for careers?
Wow, that's also a really important question. There's an association between career success and communication. So let me put it this way. We have two dimensions professionally. One is our expertise in IT or anything you do. And then the second part is how do you communicate what you do? So what we know, Phil and Damon, is the higher up you want to go, the more communication counts. Because at the highest levels, it's assumed that you know your stuff, you know IT. But what they're looking for is leadership communication.
So, mentioning IT and technical people, like, how are you helping them in such what ways?
Well, I was so glad you called me. I just finished a big project. I worked with maybe over 100 IT folks in a healthcare company. And here were the things that they worked on. One is working on being more concise. Number two, working on the right amount of detail. Not too much detail, because the people they were talking to couldn't care less about the intricacies of the project. What they cared about was the result. And number three, a lot of them wanted to be more impactful. A lot of them were sort of technical in their delivery, kind of talking like this, a little bit dull. So I taught them a skill called vocal variety, how to use your voice as a tool for meaning and impact. And they loved the program. It was very robust. They watched videos of me teaching them things, and they came together to practice. They also had the one-on-one. And I do want to listening, and of course, Damon, to ask any questions. I'd love questions.
Yeah, definitely. Again, for the attendees who just joined in, feel free to interrupt or butt in. Actually, you can raise your hand and give some few questions or even additional informations to Coach Laurie with this interactive session. And for the audience and for those who will be watching this in a later watch, are you able to give an example of some of the skills you have helped people in their area or like the field that they work on?
Sure. And now, am I able to write in the chat box too?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
So everyone.
Okay, great. So a simple technique is called deductive talking. So deductive, and it's known as getting to the point. So I'm going to with a big X, and then you back up the main point with your sub points. So let me know, is my connection okay? I just want to make sure, because I got a little notice.
It's glitching a little.
Okay,
So,
let me just see what I can. The main thing is, I'm just closing some things here. The main thing is that you want to have a headline. You could write down the word headline. Headline means say your main point in 15 words or less. Okay. And then you back it up with three things and try to use called. So I'm going to ask everybody the question. What do you like best about your job? So your big X is your main headline. So what I like best about my job is working with interesting people. There are three reasons why I like. Okay, so try that. There's three reasons, and you can even use Phil and Damon if you want to try it. You can even enumeration. So you put three fingers next to your mouth. And the number three is very magical. So let me start. There's three reasons why I love working with people in my field. First, people from different countries. Second, I get to who are in all different professions, from law, medicine, architecture. And third, and finally, I work with motivated people. So they all want to get better, and that's a good feeling. So it's easy. So I think is your headline, and then back it up with points. That's one of the skills that IT people really need to learn. 20 to 30 seconds. You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So
okay, Damon, do you want to practice?
Okay, sure. As far as me, the people
Okay,
that
so
go ahead.
remember everybody what the skill is. It's giving the headline and then giving the points. Okay.
All right.
So Damon, what do you like best about your job?
The three things I like best about my job is that I'm engaging with awesome people. That's number
Good.
one. I'm very passionate about what I do. Number two, and I have lots of flexibility. Number three.
And we just want to put the headline. So what's the goes over everything, but great job, buddy. Totally numeration, and it's not easy. Again, if you're on Zoom, keep your fingers near your face so that it's in the picture. Okay. Do you want, Phil, do you want me to give some more skills?
Well, yes, you can feel free to do so. And also I've read that you have also like written books. So
Yes.
you could also share a little of the things that was on the books that you have written.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'll share my books, and then Smart Speaking. I'll share the names of my books. Smart Speaking, 30-second strategies for being a, so there's chapters on being a good conversationalist, chapters on running meetings and controlling nervousness, and it's all quick tips. And then the second one's about male-female communication, and it's called He and She Talk. So that one is good if you feel like you want to learn more about gender and communication. So a skill that people can use impacted a meeting. It's called vocal variety. And vocal variety is the ability to use your voice as a tool. Pretty good at this for conveying meaning and passion. And the way you do it is one word in every sentence has to jump out. So if I say, Phil is a great guy, which word stood out?
Great.
Right. If I say Phil is a great guy. Now, you may feel a little doing this, but trust me, people will pay way more attention to the way that you sound. And if you listen to people who get the big bucks for speaking, newscasters, sportscasters, they are outstanding at this. They might know their craft, but they're hired because they're good speakers. So let's take a sentence. Let's take the sentence, Damon is an outstanding coach. Okay. So we're going to emphasize different words. Okay. So Phil, try this one. Emphasize the word Damon.
Damon is an outstanding coach.
Okay. Beautiful. How about outstanding?
Damon is an outstanding coach.
Yes. Good on you. Good. How about the word coach?
Damon is an outstanding coach.
Right. As opposed to an artist.
Yes.
Great.
So I believe I've heard this kind of vocal variety. Like sometimes you will know if it's a compliment or it's sarcasm.
Right. Well, we do pick people's tone. And of course, virtual image. I can do a lot of teaching about what creates a great virtual image as well. And that's important for almost all of us. We were getting calls about it. You know, how do we run these meetings well? How do I camera? So we've done a lot of work on that one.
So in your best opinion, like what are the most important skills like to work on as an individual?
Okay, so one is being able to get to the point, to be clear and concise. And I taught you one skill, which is called being direct or deductive. Give the main headline in 15 words or less, and then back it up. And then the second skill I taught you is vocal variety. Then operation, not desperation, meaning I don't care if it's even a small meeting. I want you to think mind, paper, mouth. When you go into any situation, you want to have your notes. You want to know what your goal is. So I would say preparation is the third skill. So organizing your thoughts, vocal variety, preparation and practice. And then I would say an important days is engagement, or how do you get people interested in talking? So did you see some of the things that I did today?
Yes, you're definitely putting emphasis on some few things. Like as you were explaining vocal variety, you're also using it at the same time. Like you're putting emphasis on what you want to deliver.
Right. Well, of course, we wouldn't want a speech coach who didn't have vocal variety doing in that field. You're reminding me of something, Phil. We don't call it a boardroom for nothing. Get it? We don't call it a boardroom for nothing. Yeah, laughs everybody. Okay, great. So there's so many skills and tips that we communication coaches have in the toolbox, and we love seeing our clients succeed. Every day I get texts from my clients that say, oh my God, I did a great job at the interview. Oh my goodness, my boss loved my presentation. So it's very, very rewarding profession, as I'm sure Damon's profession is.
Yes, definitely, it's very rewarding. So apart from it, it's like rewarding or it has own success story. Have you encountered or have learned some of the challenges that people face on different fields?
Right. Well, a big challenge that most people have is nervousness. So people are more scared of public speaking or even being on a webinar than they are supposedly of death. And so there's an old joke that people would rather be in the coffin than delivering the eulogy.
Yeah, I have encountered some few people as well, even though it's just a one-on-one talk or interview, like nervousness is making them lose that opportunity.
Right. And I want to tell you something. I did an online program called Conquer Your Fear of Speaking. And if anyone's interested, I can tell you more about it. And it's totally, you do it on your own. 3 C's of being more confident. One is thinking more confidently. Second is physical comfort, breathing and all that stuff helps your body to relax. Third is connection. I'm sure, Phil and Damon, don't you find if people are friendly with each other, it relaxes you?
Yes, definitely. Like it gives you a good feeling, a positive feeling that well, I can be free talking to this person. Like there's no hint of threat or whatnot.
Yeah, you
Right.
feel like a trust. Mhm.
Exactly. And so many people feel nervous in situations. And usually if you disclose that you're a little bit nervous, everyone will bond with you. So I think I feel like my daughter's generation, people are a little more open about their feelings, that we don't always have to be perfect.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes it's like that kind of attitude will like indirectly making like you are making persons indirectly discriminated for some reason if you're not being approachable, you're not making them safe when they talk to you.
Yes, and you're bringing up a good point, which is the managers help other people to feel comfortable. They're not as focused on as they are on others. Now, don't get me wrong, you still have to prepare.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, definitely.
yeah.
So I have known that you wrote an article on translating complex information to non-technical people. Like, how can our listeners get a hold of it?
Sure. If they write to me, I will put my in the chat box, and the article is called How to Translate Technical Information to Non-Technical People. And it's good for everybody. And if you're a manager or supervisor, you can definitely share it with your team. Laurie at partnerinc.com. I get teased a lot about it because it's the longest email in the world. Or you can find me on LinkedIn because I'm lucky that there's no other Laurie Schloff. If Smith, I guess it would be different.
Yeah,
But
that's
do you
true.
want me to go ahead?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you just glitch a little there. The connection might have paused you a little. Yeah, can you yeah, repeat a little? Like go back a little of what you have mentioned.
Oh, sorry about that. What I said is, if you want to get the article, you can email me at Laurie@partnersincommunicationinc.com, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. And I was joking, I'm the only Laurie Schloff on LinkedIn.
Yes.
So,
Well, it's easy to find. Those who will be listening this later watch. So keep note of the spelling of Laurie's name and make sure to find her on LinkedIn if you are unable to see her email address, as we try to make sure that no spams will be going into your email as well. So on YouTube, they will not see it. So they will just find you on LinkedIn for those who are watching on YouTube.
okay. Now, do you want me to teach you a relaxation exercise?
Yes, we can do it so.
Okay, so this is one of the labs at Stanford University in California, where they study different breaths. And this technique seems to be very do it relatively easily in a lot of situations. What we're going to do, everyone, is we're going to inhale through our nose, a long in, a sniff, and a short one, and then we're through our mouths, a longer one. So it's inhale nose, mouth. Do it at your own rate 3 times in a row, and your stress level should go down. So you want a longer exhale. So let's do it together. Inhale long, short, exhale long. Inhale long, short, exhale long. And once more, inhale long, inhale short, exhale long. Feels really good. Now, we did it together, and that's a fun thing to do. Like if you're working with a team and you have a stressful moment, but you could also do it before a webinar or job interview. Just one of many techniques that I teach.
Wonderful. It's very relaxing, but I don't want to get too relaxed because it's past midnight here. So I
I don't know how you do it, Phil. Okay, it also is good for falling asleep. So I don't know what happened next.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Right.
So,
but
yeah, I'm sorry. The we wanted to give chance as well. So to attendees. So anyone would like to ask questions or share their insights to Laurie?
Right. I love hearing anybody's concern or a person in your life that maybe is challenging to communicate with, or something you want to work on. I work on also, I should probably mention this since you're so international. I work with non-native speakers of English who have to use English for business, and they're not really used to it and they want to develop confidence. So that's something that's really helpful. Right now, I'm working with people from China, from France.
Yes, we have sir, Murari.
I feel, yep, thank you. Thank you, Laurie, for the wonderful session. Thank you for sharing your insights. Yeah, I do see there are some communication issues within the teams that I work with as well. Some of them may be stepping up with their first job. Some of them may be having decent experience in the coding development software areas, but they are unable to communicate because of their they're not native speakers in English, right? So their mother tongue is different, and then it takes for them time to get fluency in the English language. Yeah, really appreciate your session, and thanks for sharing your insights and
I know it's not easy, and it's really, let me just start with this. It's a gift to be bilingual or trilingual. That's a gift, but when you're not using your native language in business. So I suggest, and I can help you with this, is running some conversational English groups that are a lot of fun. People get to laugh and all that as they learn business English conversation.
Yeah. Thank you for the tip. Definitely, I'll follow in the team so that they'll have some informal meetings sometimes, besides the formal meetings that we have on the projects.
I'd be happy to be helpful.
Thank you so much, sir Murahari. So that was one of the director of Cogent, so PMO and customer success at Cogent Integrated Business Solutions. Thank you, sir, for interacting.
Oh, very nice. I'm going to write his name down so I can link in.
Alrighty. So any other attendees that'd like to open their mics? All right. So far everything's very crisp and clear. Aside from your connection that's hindering most of your really valuable discussion. So well, it's something that's really hard to avoid. So it happened. It can happen anytime, definitely. So well, thank you still for those who are watching on YouTube. Thank you so much for staying. And right now, Laurie is about to close her part of the talk. So do you have anything with you to promote, like your books, your website?
Oh, you're so nice. Well, I would just say, just to realize communication is going to be one of your best tools for success in your career. Murad agrees. It's a tool for leadership and success. Then use your heart and your mouth, have them all work together, and that will be life.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Laurie, for bringing it on the table today for today's Zipinar talk. So we have really loved the topic and the interactive session. Thank you so much. So yeah, you can stay in for the next topic, or if you have urgent things to do, you may leave, and then you can yeah, we can. So anyone who would like to connect on her later or offline, just search her name, or yeah, get in touch with us. Let us talk it team so we can communicate to her in behalf of you. So thank you again, and we'll be moving to the next topic for today's Zipinar session. So now moving forward. So thank you, Laurie. And the next topic will be your vision, your voice, and your valuables. So those are like pretty common words that you hear or you see from like on social media and from day to day. But definitely, our speaker today will share insightful information concerning the description and value of a vision, the three visual lenses, how you effectively communicate your vision, and what makes us valuable. So he is known as the Renaissance Man, Damon Darrell Naylor, and wears the hats of consultant, speaker, author, content creator, and trainer, and specializes in providing direction, inspiration, and education through various forms of communication. And here to deliver the topic that he has chosen to share with us today, without further ado, Mr. Damon Naylor.
Hello, Phil. How's it going, man?
Yeah, all good, definitely. Yourself?
Awesome. As once again, like I told you earlier, we appreciate the opportunity. I thoroughly enjoyed Laurie's presentation, and we just appreciate you. Thanks so much. And thanks to everyone who's tuned in and logged on. But yeah, so I just tell a little bit about myself before I get into the presentation. As Phil has mentioned, they call me the Renaissance Man because I wear so many hats. But I guess some of the main things I'm doing right now is one-to-one coaching in the areas of personal development, gift and talent development, vision planning, branding, PR, publicity, communication, as well as networking. And I'm also delivering personal development workshops that cover leadership, customer service, workplace culture, communication, team building, networking, you name it, and also doing keynote addresses there for anybody, any companies that need keynote speakers. So we're doing those things. And as Phil mentioned, I'm a published author as well. And we'll give some more information on that at the end. But I'll go ahead, Phil, and jump right into it. And of course, those who are logged in, you can ask questions. It's going to be interactive as well. I do have some slides to help us navigate, but it's going to be interactive as well. Of course, I will ask questions of you guys. So I hope you're ready to chat with me there. All right. So as Phil said, we want to welcome you to the Your Vision, Your Voice, and Your Valuables presentation. And as we see here, the guy Cyclops, known for his vision. And I want to ask you guys just right off the bat, when you hear the word vision or dream, what comes to your mind? If you want to put it in the chat, if you're able to type it in, just what words come to your mind? As Phil said, we hear them a lot, but I think sometimes we don't do a deep dive and explore and really come to the understanding and obtaining clarity on what is our vision? What is a dream? If anybody wants to put it in the chat, or Phil, I know you may see if someone's on YouTube, if they're saying anything. Or if you want to unmute yourself, if you're on Zoom with us.
Yeah, well, I'll go first, so the rest could follow if they wanted to. So those who are in the attendees. So saying vision. So for me, it's sometimes like what you look forward to. Sometimes you daydream of it. So and also like, what would you like to see yourself in the near future?
Awesome. Good job, Phil. You are correct. And I guess everybody else is quiet. That's fine. So we're going to look at basically the definition of vision, and you're going to see some of the things you just mentioned, which were spot on, Phil. First of all, is a pictorial representation or a visual image, like you said, and it's normally of a culmination of plans, goals, and actions. So it's kind of seeing the end of the matter from the beginning. You see it while it's in the infant stages, or you hadn't even pursued it yet. It's in the potential stages. But when you have the vision, you see it actualized. You see it manifested. You see the end of it from the beginning, okay? Next thing, it's a mental picture. It's within your mind or within your spirit of a place or position. You can imagine yourself, like you said, Phil, your company and or your family being sometime in the future. So oftentimes, if you're a parent, you have visions of your children, what they're going to grow up and become. You have visions if you're a business owner, what's going to happen, how successful and prosperous your business is going to become. You have personal visions. Sometimes if you're on a weight loss journey, financial freedom or increase, whatever it is, you get that vision of it from the beginning, all right? And then another thing, it's just an illustration of your destination or where you're traveling in life, your destiny, where you're trying to go. But it's critical that we have that. And here's an example of why. Recently, in college sports, anybody who watches college sports, specifically football, there's a guy named Stetson Bennett who plays quarterback or played quarterback for the University of Georgia. He just graduated. So his story was very intriguing to me because I was watching the championship game. And what happened, the sportscaster was saying that when he was 2 years old, he was working out, he was running around, he was doing calisthenics, he was stretching, he was doing push-ups. And his mom comes in and says, "Stetson, what are you getting ready for?" And Stetson responded and said, "I'm getting ready to play in the National Football Championship game." And so she was like, "Okay, well, go on and get ready." Now, he was 2 years old. He wasn't 5, he wasn't 7, wasn't 10, wasn't a teenager. He was 2 years old. And he had this vision of himself playing in a college national championship football team. So we fast forward, he goes through high school, takes his high school team to 3 playoffs, wasn't really highly recruited out of high school. He was only what you call a 2-star talent, and that the highest is 5-star. He was a 2-star talent. They say he was too short. He was too light. So he ended up walking on at Georgia. He didn't get a scholarship. And what happened, he didn't play the first year. Second year, he transferred to a college called Jones College. He played there, did okay, ended up returning to Georgia. So then they gave him a scholarship. His third year, he was a backup. Fourth year, he was a backup. Finally, his 5th year, he got to play only when the starting quarterback got injured. So he came in and he did so well. They kept him as the starter. He won his first national championship, went undefeated. Following year, which is this year, early in January, he won his second consecutive national championship. I said all that to say this: your vision is important, because when you see it, although you might encounter some no's, some closed doors, adversity, you can only imagine it took him his 5th year of college to finally get to star and to win a championship. You can imagine in between there, he probably thought he was just seeing that. It was just in his imagination and nothing would happen. But because he held on to the vision, he won not only one college national championship, but 2. So our vision is critical. You see it way from the beginning, but you see the end and you're able to go in that direction. So as far as our vision, we want you to see it. We're almost halfway done with this year, actually a little over half. So Phil, what do you see for the rest of 2023 for yourself? And if anybody's on, if you want to mute and say it or put it in the chat, what's your vision?
As of the moment, I am still undertaking my bachelor's degree in psychology. So with the rest of 2023, I'll be able to finish some of my research papers. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and be able to be enrolled in the next semester. So that's what I'm, because for myself, like it's hard for me to think of many future versions of me. As of the moment, like it gives me fear, but definitely I'm just taking it like one step at a time.
Got you. Awesome. And as I said, if anybody else wanted to chime in, what do you see for yourself for the rest of 2023? You know, we're over halfway done, and there's still time for that vision to come to pass. Anybody else?
Yes, we're encouraging attendees. You can raise your hand, put it on chat or Q&A, or you can mute. We will acknowledge, and we can hear your voice. Please feel free to do so.
All right.
If you're, yes, go ahead. No, someone speaking?
No, that was me, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
They're
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we'll go right ahead. The importance of our vision. Why do we need a vision? First of all, it helps you to see the big picture and end game, which will serve as motivation to keep you pursuing your destiny and dream despite the setbacks, opposition, and challenges. And we just gave the example with Stetson Bennett, how he faced all of those things, but guess what? He stayed consistent. He stayed faithful until his vision became his reality. You know, your dream has to become a reality, but you have to keep on at it. You have to be consistent, and you have to keep your hand to the plow until you're living in what you've been seeing within your mind and that mental picture. But then it also provides direction. It can be compared to a destination on a map. Once you see where you're going, you automatically have an idea of the route or routes you must take to get there. I'm an avid traveler, Phil, and those who are listening. And so what happens, I always use MapQuest or Google Maps to help me to navigate and get to where I'm going. So recently I had a destination that I went to, and because I knew the destination and I had the visual, it determined what route I would have to take. In a few weeks, I'm going to be taking another trip that's a little longer. Well, of course, because I have the destination and I have the visual of where I'm going, I'm able to know which routes I have to take, which turns I have to take, whether I have to go east, west, north, south, or whatever. And that's what happens when you have that vision. It lets you know and gives you direction of exactly where you're going to go. Like the example with the guy Stetson, he knew he wanted to play in a college championship game. He wanted to play football. So by default, he had to take off in that direction at some point in his life. Whatever you're visualizing for yourself, you want to go in that direction. You want to begin to plan and apply different actions towards what you are seeing as far as your destination. And then lastly, it helps to shape your mission you wish to accomplish and a plan or plans you will institute to manifest your desires. So like you said, Phil, with your vision of finishing out the semester and making sure you're enrolled next semester, hey, you have to have a plan to take care of that, you know, in order for that to happen. You see it and you visualize it, but with it comes a plan and the mission of how you want to do it. So it's very important that we have that vision. So when we look at it, there are what I call 3 visual lenses. The first one is what I call farsightedness. This enables you to see the future and broader, the whole picture. However, seeing currently and identifying specific parts or sometimes shortcomings. So what happens, sometimes we can see into the future. Some people are big picture oriented, but when it comes to the minute and the present details, they struggle with it. Well, if we're going to get from the present to the future, we have to be aware of what's going on now. What are the puzzle pieces that have to come together? What are the decisions we have to make now that's going to cause us to manifest that huge vision that we've seen? The next one is what I call nearsightedness, and this enables one to see the present and only parts. But on the flip side, seeing futuristically and comprehending the big picture are problems. These are individuals who can only see like for today, for next month, maybe for the year, but beyond that, they can't see it. They lack the big picture. And if we're talking about really making a difference, we're talking about shifting, we're talking about going to the next level, then it's critical that we're able to see both of them. All right. Okay. Someone said, Phil, are the slides changing on your side?
No, actually.
Not? Okay. I'm sorry. All right, so let's try it again. Let's see. Not bad. Okay, let's go to where we are. Okay. I'm gonna try the slideshow and let me know if it's showing. Okay, well, I'll keep it like this. Are you able to see it from here? Do you see anything?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll keep it like this. So when we're nearsighted, it enables us to see, like I said, only the small parts that are now, but not the big picture, okay? But what we want to have is what I call 20/20 or I-20 vision, 20/I-20 vision, which enables us to see the big picture, the intricate details, and then we can also see the present and the future, and we can see beneath the surface. In other words, sometimes we're going to encounter things, I call them signs and symbols, whereas on the surface, what we're seeing is different from what it actually is. And that's that insight. Recently, well, years ago, I had lost my wallet, and I don't know if that has ever happened to anybody, but that is a horrible experience when you lose your wallet. Can't find it anywhere. And so I tore up my house, basically looking for it. We traveled to the places we had gone the day before to look for the wallet. Could not find it anywhere. And so ended up happening. There was a basket on top of my refrigerator. I looked in it, didn't see it. Anyway, went to sleep. I had a dream, and in the dream, my wallet was in a basket. And what ended up happening when I woke up that morning, the next morning, I was like, okay, I know exactly where it is. And what I ended up doing, I went to my laundry basket. And at the bottom of the laundry basket, guess what was there? The wallet. So in other words, the dream was symbolic of a basket, and it looked like it was the basket on top of the refrigerator, but I know I had looked there. And so I knew and I discerned that, hey, it is a basket. And what happens, sometimes you're going to encounter things. I always tell people, remember the days are small and take every opportunity that you get seriously, because something that may seem small and insignificant can be so tremendous and so great and extravagant once you take advantage of it. Every opportunity is critical. And so if we don't discern and understand that and see that as a symbol and a sign, then we'll miss out. I'll never forget a guy, he was coming to do a speech. And while he was doing the speech, he said, when your organization called for me, I asked the secretary, which organization? And she told me. And she asked me, should I prepare the $50 speech, the $500 speech, or the $5,000 speech? And she said, she named the name of our organization. He said, oh, they're my friends. So prepare for me the $5,000 speech. My thing is, every time you deliver, you need to deliver the $5,000 speech, or you need to bring your A game. We want to bring our A game. We want to give 100%. In every opportunity, because opportunities plus opportunities equal experience, and one opportunity always leads to another. Okay. So then with our voice, you want to say it. And Laurie did a wonderful job of sharing with us about communication. Excellent. So you understand what you see. Now what? Are you able to say what you see? Can you effectively communicate what you see to others so they can assist you in fulfilling a vision? A visionary, a creative, or a leader must be able to clearly articulate and analyze the following. Now here, we're going to need your participation, especially if you're in the chat and feel, look, you might be the only active participant, so it's going to be all on you. So as you communicate, which one of these will be the answer? What you're planning on doing, your focus or your aim? Which one of those four would be the correct answer, you think? Just
what you're planning on doing, your focus or your... So please tell me I'm wrong, but yeah, I think for me, it's mission.
That's it. Correct. Awesome. So we have to be able to articulate our mission. I know mine personally, I think you read it in my bio, to provide direction, inspiration, and education. Whatever your personal mission is, whatever the company's mission is, you want to be able to articulate that and share it with others so that they can understand what you're talking about and they can assist you, okay? The pictorial visual image of your destiny or destination. This one should be easy. Anybody in the chat want to stab at it? Or?
Okay, I'm giving a chance to the chat persons, if you wish to chat. But I'm gonna go with vision.
That's vision, correct. So we have to be able to articulate that vision. It's amazing, Phil, that I run into people sometimes and they have a vision, but as I say, explain it to me. It's like, I just can't say it. I can't share it. I can't explain it. Well, this is that other part, you know, and this is what I coach people on, organizations, and helping them to be able to craft and share what you're seeing. Because if you can't effectively communicate to others what you're seeing, then they can't support you. They can't help you. They don't know which direction to go in. It's chaotic. But when you can effectively articulate what you're seeing, your vision, then they can help you because they know exactly what you're expecting and what you're needing, okay? How you will organize and implement the actions needed to reach your goals. Which one would that be? How we put it all together.
Those four things.
Yes, okay. Marar, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He said plan. Okay, that's correct. Thank you. That is it. Awesome. So we have to be able to write our plans out, map everything down, write the vision, as they say, and explain it to others so that they can receive extreme clarity on it. I know Laurie mentioned, and I also observed this as well and experienced it. In many organizations, that's an issue as far as the plans and the actions and the goals and the vision. Not being able to communicate it and articulate it to those who are employees or are working consultants or whomever. When the vision and a plan is not clear to others, then you have all kinds of problems. You know, it creates a toxic environment. It creates division. It creates confusion. Just not good. All right. And then the last one, why you do what you do. Which one is that? The why behind what you do. Wonderful. Purpose. You are correct. The why is one of the most critical elements because I've seen people have the what, they have the vision, they have the how, but they don't have the why. And when we encounter those setbacks, the opposition, the adversity, when things go awry, when it looks like everything is going wrong, if you have your why am I doing this? This is one of the most important driving forces to keep you going towards your vision. Knowing your why. Phil, do you happen to know your why within the degree you're pursuing and the work you're doing? Do you have your why? Do you want to share it if you do?
Yeah, well, I have my why. So I have switched from one course to another. So I started with the business administration courses, and then it's not really something of my area as I find myself going forward. So now I am under the psychology program, and like the why is that it's like I wanted to see people, like not just see them physically, but see through them. So like I actually get um excited in meeting different types of persons, the character, their personality, like talking to them, like making myself fit in a different group characteristics, because you cannot always stand out. You have to fit in sometimes, you have to stand out sometimes, and sometimes they have to adjust to you or you have to adjust to them. So one of the few like few of the things actually that gets me involved or engaged in this degree that I am taking.
Okay, super, man. And you hit it on the head. You mentioned several things. One thing you said, the insight, being able, like you said, to see through them as we were talking about. And then being flexible is important. Sometimes like you say, you have to be the leader. You have to set the trend and step out. But then sometimes you just have to fall back and fit in. And that's important in engaging with people and navigating through life, just being successful in your relationships and everything. Okay. Did anybody else want to share your why, or if you know your why there? Okay. Well, we'll get into the final part, which is your valuables. So we talked about your vision, seeing it. We talked about your voice and communicating your vision, your mission, your purpose and everything. But now we want to look at our valuables, or the things that make us valuable. And so when we look at it, I'm talking about your strengths, what I call your dominant gift or your strongest talent. And I asked the question, in what area or areas does your strength lie? What do you feel is like your strongest asset, Phil, if we were to analyze you?
Should I are these the options?
No. Just these aren't options here. These are what the talents
Oh,
would do
I'm
for
sorry.
us. No,
So
that's
I
okay.
think, yeah, I think my strength is really communication, because
Okay.
like before I was able to communicate this properly, I really have poor communication. So I just had myself like I studied, I practiced and all that, and then it actually became my asset. Like I'm able to negotiate, I'm able to understand further. I'm able to like land this job that I love doing right now and help me in my degree. So yeah.
Good. Excellent. So that's awesome that you know that. And that's one thing I work with people. I have a program called the G3 Journey, and I help you to find your strongest gift or strongest talent in area. And it's great that you've already found it. And what I have here, these are 4 things that strongest talent, your strengths will help you to do, or they will serve as. So first of all, it will serve as a GPS because it's going to provide direction for you. As you use that gift, Phil, and you're seeing it now by your experience, it's going to open up doors for you, and it's going to lead you and guide you into different places. It's also going to serve as your vehicle and transportation. So it's going to transport you from place to place, from opportunity to opportunity. It'll get you employment. It'll help you to start a business, just as long as you're using that strongest talent. The next thing that strongest talent will serve as is a key, because it will open up doors of opportunity for you, or authorization to get you into circles, into places that you would never imagine that you could be in as you use that gift more and more. And lastly, it'll enable you to possibly create services and products, whether it's for yourself or for a company. But that gift that you have has a creative side. It's just about us tapping into it, which is the key. And so the final slide I'm going to leave you guys with is 4 questions I say you can ask yourself to assist you in discovering your strongest talent. And this comes, as I said, from our program, the G3 Journey. First of all, what am I good at doing? That's skill. What do I like doing? What you're passionate about? What gift I utilize or activity I engage in impacts others positively? Here we're talking about effectiveness. So you think you're good at it, or you feel you're good, you're passionate about it, But what do others say? Are they like, Phil, man, you're awesome. Keep doing that. You know, you're great. Or they're like, oh, Phil, you might need to reconsider that. So what is it you do that has that positive impact on others? And the fourth question is, what gift or activity I can do for free and receive total satisfaction and fulfillment? In essence, if you didn't receive any monetary compensation, what is it that you do that you would still be fulfilled and passionate about it? And if you didn't know, my dominant gift is in the area of communication as well, Phil. And everything, like I say, for all of these questions here, that gift would fit. So whatever you have, whatever activity or several activities you have that will answer all four questions, then more than likely that's your strongest gift or your dominant gift or strongest talent. Because sometimes, you know, people can be passionate but not skilled. Sometimes they can be passionate and skilled but ineffective. And then sometimes you can do something, but hey, you're gonna have to pay me. But when it comes to communication, I'm willing to donate my services and be a blessing, because that is my strongest talent. Right?
I totally agree, 100%. So, like, you can just talk to people. Like, it's not always they need you to listen to them. Sometimes they need you to talk, or just be their second opinion. Like, they know their stuff, they know their things, but they're not very sure. And you talk about it. Like, you give them the second opinion that they need to push them forward. So that's really a great gift.
Right. Yes, it is. So, yes. Like I said, so that's basically what I have. And I wanted to have a few minutes. Anybody had any questions or wanted anything they wanted to say?
Yep. Perfect. So anyone from the attendees would like to ask some few final questions as we are about to end today's session. So you can definitely share your insights as well, or opinion with regards to the topic. Okay. So yeah, a little bit of awkward silence, definitely, but that's all good. The session is gifted us a brighter information with regards to the strengths that sometimes we constantly use, but we fail to acknowledge. So this is really a wonderful eye-opening session that we have today. And yeah, Sir Murahari says, thank you for breaking the vision to execution. So wonderful words, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Murahari.
All right. So as we move to close today's session, we want to thank the attendees who have spared their time joining our live session, and for those who have watched the live session on YouTube as well, on Twitch and on Facebook, and for those who will be watching this one later on the downloaded or uploaded, version of the Zipinar talk. So before we move forward, do you have anything to promote, Sir Damon? Like you're working on, like a book or a website or any training that you have?
Yes, I've placed it in the chat there. And what I'm doing for anyone who's listening or who may view this later, at my online school, Real Life Academy.thinkific.com. If you go there, you look at any of the courses. My latest course is Communicate, Network, and Collaborate. Really great communications course that'll help you boost your confidence and give you tips on public speaking. I'm giving you 50% off any of my courses, and that's the code TALK 2023. And then you can find my book, Living, Loving, Leading, on Amazon. And then I'm going to put in my website here if you are interested in the presentation, professional development workshop. I could do webinars or come in and do presentations, and also do the one-on-one coaching, but everything is there on that website. But we thank you again, Phil, and thank you for all of those who are in attendance. And Murahari, we thank you for your participation. Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your gift to the community, Damon. So that it's really wonderful to have you, and also Laurie in this session today. And we are inviting you again for those who attended, and if you have time also, sir, for the next webinar that we will have on the 19th of July. So that's the same time, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll have two new speakers, great speakers, with along with the topics and the experience they will bring with it. So feel free to join in. It's much better you join on Zoom Live, or you can just watch it on live on social media platforms as well. And you can visit our website, www.LetUsTalkIt.com. So LetUsTalkIt.com. So that's the exact website. Feel free to visit to watch our previous webinars as well. And if you wish to be part of the guest speakers, you are very welcome to talk with us as well. So again, we thank you everyone and keep safe as always. All the best and goodbye for now. Take care.